I got homies behind the wall wishing they was home. They got jammed up, kept discussing business on the phone. But Scotty, boy, we 200 bands off them $20 flips. I'm going by myself when it's time to up. That way police don't have a clue.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Johnson, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. To throw is Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Nice completion. situation there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Matt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Their fullback try and push the pile. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. This one from 46 yards out. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it. We spend so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 45. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd down, Johnson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There goes Duke Johnson. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. This is caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's Watson on the sneak. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. As he stopped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Over here, yes.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Over the middle, complete. That's Mack. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Two 1st downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. first down throw coming for Dalton. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And it'll be Dalton again. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Andy Dalton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are in for 6.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Hauschka with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Shifts past him at the 45. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
In some phases of life, that's what's known as the quick response team. Down 3, they come right back with a big return. They want to at least tie this game up.
On first down, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, Miller. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will knot us up at 10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal, and yet the points went against them. But that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Second and 10. Dalton once more. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
On the ball! On the ball!
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Cole. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Andy Dalton now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
368!
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That was very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Dalton. He's got it to Hilton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride. Another 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
2-by-2.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Go on the ball. On the ball.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Dalton here from the gun. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Dalton sets up play action. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts have broken our tie as they take the lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Watson just beating the play clock. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
And Dalton to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Kelly to try to punch it in. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Dalton on third and goal. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. The final shot before the break. Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come back.
Throwing again is Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Dalton, 1st and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play that time for the Colts. 53 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage. A
real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. His throw incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Over here, yes.
They'll run with Matt, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
368!
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. To throw is Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Reset. Come back.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will shave one more off this lead. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here you go. 93, 52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go.
On first down, Dalton under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Levante David leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. The Colts send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake here on 1st down. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now it's the backup Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. 54 yards. On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the third now in New Orleans. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 2nd down, Winston. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They've got his man complete. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Hey, getting ready for something coming up.
Here's Mack on the toss. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful.
And Winston lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Winston. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run with Hines. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. So a designed run last play. Now Dalton to pass. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Hauschka adds the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. He's going to float this one deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. A huge play there for Houston. 46 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A 1st down throw for Winston. Oh, no, he lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, That puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It's a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Whitney merciless. In there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
368. There you go. 93, 52, 93, 44, 40.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And the Colts take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. Now Hausch could attack on the extra point. Hauschka with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
But you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Winston again. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
368.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Dalton off play action. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. The 1st down throw coming for Dalton. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
He's going to let it go again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were. And so possession will remain with Indy. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
368. Heavy.
Operating from the gun. Dalton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Now a desperation throw, deep depth, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will get him one closer. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Through an opening, and there he goes. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Now Mack. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Oh, passing it. Dalton. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well, a clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
On 3rd down. That's Hines. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And Hauschka's kick is good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Winston now to throw on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Jameis to throw it. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. To the air again with Winston. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams,
and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Indianapolis, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.